What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you what's on my mind. Check it out. As you guys know, months ago, I made the declaration that I said not going to be paying money to see Solo, not another Star Wars story. And I've held true to my word. However, you guys should know that Solo, not another story, is on the Fire A, Stick A, okay? So I was able to watch it on the internet. And actually, I should say that I attempted to watch it, okay? Because the truth is that I have fallen asleep watching this movie probably about 4 times now. Now, if I fall asleep 4 times watching a Star Wars movie, now I know that I've been tired from work. You know, this is true. I've come home, I've been exhausted, I've had nothing left. But if you put on A New Hope for me right now, hell, if you put on Return of the Sith, Revenge of the Sith for me right now, I will stay awake to watch the entire thing. If you put on Goodfellas, I'll watch the entire thing. If you put on Tombstone, I'll watch the entire thing. I put on Solo, not another Star Wars story, and I was comatose probably several times throughout the movie. Now look, I will say this, alright? There's a couple of things I want to say about this movie, alright? And how can I put this? It's a strange thing. It's a strange thing, this Solo thing, because I actually feel like I had to ask myself this question, and I have to ask Disney Lucasfilm this question. Why did you have to attach the name Solo to this movie? Like, do you have that little confidence in yourself that you can actually make an original Star Wars movie with original characters? You have that little confidence in yourself that you can sell this to the Star Wars audience? You have to go and put the name Solo on this? Because you know what I was thinking at some point, when I like snapped up out of my sleep and, wiped a little, spit, away. I was thinking to myself, could this have actually been okay if this were original characters? And in some ways, it actually could. It actually could have been a better movie if it wasn't a story of young Han Solo, and if it were the story of somebody else that was totally new. If you took this complete same movie and you gave these people original characters and original names, and everything, I think it could have been a better movie because number one, there would be a feeling that something could have happened to these people. Like as far as the Han Solo character, the Lando character, the Chewbacca character, it's like something actually could have happened to these people. But as it stands, you know that nothing is going to happen to these people because obviously you have to see them in the original trilogy. So that goes out of the window. All feeling of urgency and danger goes out of the window. Whereas if you had these people be original characters, you might actually be invested in what they were doing. Like the character of Kyra, you know that they're not true lovers because you're never going to see her again, So who cares? Who cares about Becker or whatever his name is, Becker, I don't know, and who cares about the Thandie Newton character? By the way, much ado about nothing. She talks about, I broke the glass ceiling. With what? This Lucasfilm, this is your idea of diversity? This is your idea of breaking the glass ceiling? This is your idea of a black female lead? Maybe I slept through most of her dialogue, but it seems like I blinked, literally, and she was gone. I had to actually go back a few times to see what happened to the black chick with the afro. You know what I mean? She was gone, so nothing, but like I said, had this been a truly original movie, then it might have been more inspired, you know what I mean? It might have had more license to do the things that it wanted to do because this movie actually seemed very, very choppy. Even if I didn't know about the behind the scenes, stuff that was going on. You could tell the movie was in so many different directions. But in there was actually a possibly good movie. In there somewhere beneath the piles of dung and turd, there was something there. You know what I mean? Maybe Crazy Kathleen Kennedy should not have fired Hall & Oates, or whatever their names were. You know what I mean? Because there was something there, and they could have explored it, originally explored it, but the way it stood, man, that movie was freaking ridiculous. You know, they have to come up with a way that Han Solo got his name. I was like, are you kidding me? They're like, what's your name? Han. Who are you with? I'm with nobody. Who's your people? I don't have any people. Who's your family? I don't have any family. Who's your uncle? I don't have any uncle. Nobody. Dun, 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 dun. Who is Solo? Han Solo. No, that's not the way it happens, man. Everything doesn't need an explanation. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh, this is so lame. This is how he got his name. He was named Solo. And he's like, yeah, I kind of like that. You know? And Alden, okay, Alden. Once again, okay, if you had said that this wasn't Han Solo and it was somebody else, Alden actually could have sold his role, you know? He wasn't disagreeable. He was disagreeable as Han Solo. He absolutely was. All he could have ever been was a food stamp Han Solo. That was it. If you told me he was Han Solo, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to have to really, really dial back my expectations for this one. You know, I'm going to have to give this dude all types of leeway and allowances and stuff like that. But if he had been his own character, I probably wouldn't have had a problem accepting him, you know, for how he was. You know, but once again, because Disney Lucasfilm wants to blatantly rip out of the past without showing any respect for the past, he got saddled with the whole Solo thing. And that's a shame, you know, because it didn't have to be that way. Now, we move on to Lando. Lando. You know, one of the things that I actually was looking forward to and wondering about is how did Donald Glover, do in the role of Lando Calrissian. And let me tell you something, guys. I wasn't feeling him. I wasn't. Yes, he has tons of charisma. Yes, he has great screen presence. But once again, if he had been playing somebody else, it would have been great. But no, they have him playing Lando Calrissian. But to me, he was more like James Brown. It's like he had the capes. You know, James Brown was known. Like he would do his little show and get exhausted and they bring the cape out and everything. And to me, I just kept waiting for my man to go, dun, 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 get up, get on up, get up, get on up. What is it? Get up, get on up, get up, get on up, delete the scene, get on up, we're our sex machines, get on up, wait a minute. You know, so it's like, oh, no, I couldn't deal with him as Lando. Nothing about what he was doing to me rang true of the Lando Calrissian character. You know, so I just wasn't, no, another missed opportunity. Like I said, if he had been playing somebody else with his type of charisma, with his screen presence, with his likability, it could have gone over very well. But no. Okay, so we go from there to the travesty that is L337. Oh my God. Ooh, oh, Lord have mercy. That's another one. The robot was gone before I even knew what was going on. You know, I think I was in and out of sleep through most of her part. But I had to go back because once again, I had to find out what was going on with her, you know, or it. So anyway, L337, truly annoying character. What everybody says is true. And I got to tell you, I cracked the hell up when she got blasted. You know, I think she was saying something like, okay, rebellion, rebellion. I was like, ah! You know, I loved it. And then Lando comes running over, and he's caressing the machine, man. He's caressing the machine. It's like everybody who said that, no, that's not in the movie, the whole Lando pansexual thing is not in the movie, well, it was heavily implied. She even said that she had been there with him. You know what I mean? There's every reason to believe that Lando was busting nuts. Literally, nuts and bolts with that robot. Like, come on, man. Do I want my son to be seeing such a thing? No. Which is why I was watching it by myself. Because I knew that it was going to be some slick shit that was in there that I didn't trust and I didn't appreciate. And it was. You know, so L337, totally forgettable character. If not for the fact that she was so remarkably bad. You know, so then we go to, what's her name? Kyra. You know, Emilia Clarke or Emily or Camelia Clarke or whatever. Looks stunning. You know, Emily Clark, she's a cutie, man. You know, wherever you see her, I mean, she just looks good. But, you know, once again, there was no depth to her character. There wasn't much to feel there because you knew that Han has no real future with her. He has no real history with her. She is very throwaway. You could liken her maybe to a Bond girl, perhaps, but she didn't have any of the real memorability, you know, of a Bond girl. So there was just no soul, man. And I've heard that before, that the movie is soulless, and that's how it felt. Yes, there was blazing music and action scenes and all this stuff, but there were no stakes, man. There was no urgency to it. There was no feeling that cared. You know what I mean? So, you know, all of that is probably what resulted in me pretty much going to sleep. Like I popped some freaking melatonin, you know what I mean? Like I was just out of it, man. And then, you know, by the end, you know, I did wake up to see the end, and the so-called surprising ending just felt pathetic to me. There was no reason for it. It was a big reach, in my opinion. Like, come on, man. It's like, who needed that? Who asked for that? Nobody. You know, so I'm looking at this, and, you know, spoiler alert, everybody knows by now, it's Darth Maul. You know, Darth Maul shows up, and it's just like, is this supposed to be a ooh-ah moment? It's not. You know what I mean? And he has to go on and ignite his little lightsaber two-sided thing just so you remember, oh yeah, it's him. What the hell? Do we need this? It's like, you have to remember the fans. Okay, the fans know who this man is. You don't have to spell it out. You know what I mean? But no, of course they have to spell it out, because their movies are for a brand new audience. The brand new audience who, by the way, did not go and see this movie. So, you know, it is what it is, man. Solo, I'm glad I didn't pay money to see it. Even not paying money to see it, I'm sorry I paid time to see it. And, man, we're in trouble if this is what people are accepting as Star Wars. I know some people are saying that it was good, they enjoyed it and stuff like that, but come on, man. We could do much, much better with a sense of imagination and commitment, you know, and love for the material. We could do much, much better than this. You know, so, yeah, it was a capable movie. Like I said, it probably would have been much better if it were about original characters, you know, but it was still uninspired, and it suffered. It absolutely did suffer from all of the changes and stuff like that. And once again, you lay that squarely at the feet of Kathleen Kennedy, because, you know, that's her doing what she does. So, you know, there it is, guys. You know, that's what I thought. That's what I thought of Solo, not another Star Wars story. I'm just sorry this is how far we've fallen, you know, with this movie. So, once again, I point out that Episode 9 is coming up. Solo was just the battleground. Episode 9 is where the Great War has to take place, because they're still popping junk, you know, they're still talking all this trash and stuff like that, and, you know, being disrespectful. So, Episode 9, guys, Episode 9 is where it all has to come to a head. So, anyway, that's what I thought, and, you know, let me know what you guys thought in the comment section. By the way, I want to give a big fat shout out to Chris Pratt and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and everything, because they had a huge weekend opening. Chris Pratt, congratulations for debunking the idea that a white man is toxic and poisonous to the box office, a white male lead, which we all knew was BS in the first place. But, you know, there it is. You know, Chris Pratt single-handedly disproving that ridiculous theory. So anyway, this is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. I will catch you on the next one. Rock on.